Hey, what's going on, guys? Sterling the Investor here, back with yet another video. And today I want to talk about real estate wholesaling. This is something that's very popular throughout the country. A lot of people are getting involved in this because it doesn't require a real estate license or any type of certification. Anyone with a specialized knowledge and a few simple contracts can start this business and start to execute almost immediately. So the thing is, a lot of people don't really understand what real estate wholesaling is. So long short, it's basically just taking possession of a property temporarily and flipping the contract to an end buyer for a profit. So here's how it works, and here's the steps right here. So first thing you have to do is locate a property. So you find, someone that maybe is in a distressed situation, or maybe they just want to get rid of the house. They're going through a divorce, or just someone that's a little bit more motivated than the typical seller that would put their house on the market, listed with the realtor on the MLS. So then once you found some properties to target, you need to reach out to these property owners, and there's different ways to find contact information. You have the address, of course, because you found the property, so you can send mail. And then, like I say, there's ways to find the owner's contact information to reach out to them, via phone, um, either a call or text. So once you've reached out to these owners, you find someone who actually wants to sell. You set an appointment, and then you go and meet with that seller. And then while you do that, you go and determine the property's value. So if you're a realtor, you know how to run comps, and you can, assess the property pretty well. You've seen a lot of properties, and you can see what you think it's worth. If you're not good at that, you may want to have a friend that's a realtor come with you, help you run some comps, and see what the deal is in terms of the actual property's value and what you can estimate it at. While you're there on that appointment, you want to look around the house. You want to see what needs to be updated, what needs to be repaired. So, not that you're going to be doing the repairs, but you want to get a good idea of what the end buyer, the investor, is going to need to put into this property. And then I'll get to that in a little bit why that's important. So, you're determining the as is value, and then you're doing a rough assessment of repairs of how much you think that'll cost to get the house up to speed. Next thing you want to do is negotiate a price with this seller. So now that you've determined the value and you've estimated repairs, you've got a good number in your head of, what you think you can offer on it. So you have to present that to the seller, and chances are there's going to be some back and forth. They're not going to initially accept what you offer, and you guys need to come to an agreement here. Now, mind you, you need to keep this at a price to where the end buyer, the investor, can come in, put money into the property, and then still be able to flip it for a profit on his end. He's gonna do a rehab. The end buyer is gonna do the stuff you see on HGTV, and flip this house, and flip in Vegas, and all of that stuff. The end buyer is gonna come in and do that. But your job, you need to make sure that there's enough room in there, for one, for you to make money on the deal, and two, for that investor to put money into the property and still have enough room for him to make money on the deal. So then you guys come to an agreement. Now you need to find the end buyer. That's not hard. If you've got a good deal on the contract, and you've come to that agreement, and you've got it on the contract, that's not easy. Everybody wants a deal. You can go to local real estate meetings. You can reach out to realtors. They have investor clients. If you already have a buyer's list, you can just blast it out to that buyer's list. As long as your numbers are right, someone will take that property off of your hands. Last, you need to close on a property. So we've got the purchase and sales contract, which is between you and the seller of the property. You've got the purchase and sell contract. They're giving you the right, but not the obligation, to purchase the property. And you'll have a time frame, maybe it's 30, 45, 60 days, whatever you settle on. But there's an assignment clause in that contract that's saying that you will buy it, or someone that you assigned it to will buy it. There's an amendment to that contract, which is an assignment, piece, and then that'll be the agreement between you and your end buyer. So you're taking possession of the property, you're putting it under contract, and then you're assigning it to that end buyer at the closing, and that's how you close on the property. So real estate wholesaling is long short is you're locating a property that's under market value, you're putting it under contract, taking temporary possession of it, then you're building margin in for you, and then you're finding an end buyer and you're assigning that contract to them to then officially close and officially take permanent possession of the property. So to give you an example, so let's say I go out and I find a property for $100,000, and then I go in, I look around, I say, okay, in tip top shape, this property is worth $170,000. And then I look at the repairs and I say, okay, it needs this, it needs that, it needs this. We need a new this, we need a new that, we need to repair this. And after my assessment, I'm saying, okay, it's gonna take about $30,000 to get this thing up to speed. So then I want to make, let's call it $10,000 on it. So now we're at 140, and I'm saying the after repair value is 180. So that end investor is going to come in and he's got about $40,000 of margin to make his money. So I take the contract for 100. I get it on the contract for 100. I then assign it to my investor for 110. That's my $10,000. The seller gets their $100,000, and then the investor will put his $30,000 into it. So now he's in for 140, and then he'll turn around and flip it for 180, and he makes $40,000. That's a win-win-win wholesale deal. That's how it's supposed to work. It doesn't always work that way, but that's how it should work, and that's how the process works, in a broad overall, you know, understanding of it. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I truly appreciate you guys for listening to me, and I'm truly humbled that you took some time out of your day to check me out. So I'll catch you guys in the next video.